And welcome back to For Such a Time as This, the place where there is no such thing as a silent witness. As always, would like to start off with a text. One of my favorite, John, the Gospel of John, 18:37. Then Pilate said to him, "So you are a king?" Jesus answered, "You say that I am a king. For this purpose I was born, and for this purpose I have come into the world to bear witness to the truth. Everyone who is of the truth listens to my voice." As a Christian, your first allegiance is to your God of truth. Whenever you leave truth, whenever you forsake truth, and you embrace untruths, you embrace lies, you have now bowed down to a new God. It's the God of lies. That would be the father of lies, Lucifer. This issue with this Karmelo Anthony, the young man who stabbed another young man and killed him, and yet the African-American community, not all, but many in the African-American community, they're defending him. If you look at the trial, the evidence of the trial, it was murder. And a lot of black people are still saying it was unjust that Karmelo Anthony was found guilty. One commentator that is beginning to rise even more and more is Stephen A. Smith, who's switching from sports to now commentating on larger cultural issues. It's because he's willing to be, let's face it, he's willing to be honest. He's willing to be honest. And he's willing to stand up against the African-American community. And he does so on this issue. He's willing to say that which is obvious, that which is plain, that which is very, shall I say, truthful. Here he is.
What's inescapable and what's undeniable is that Karmelo Anthony said he put his hands on me, so I stabbed him. He said it's not alleged, I did it. Confessed to doing so and told people he did so. Not only that, there were witnesses that saw it happen. Not only that, Austin Metcalf's brother was there. And his brother died right in front of him. So when we sit up here and we think about the battles that need to be fought, we got to be mindful of what's worth fighting for and what's not worth fighting for. I'm talking about the merits of the case, not the human being. Because all of us are God's children. And my heart goes out to Karmelo Anthony and his family. I wish this didn't happen. I wish that he's not going to spend at least the next 17 years in prison, barring an appeal that's won. But he killed someone. And his argument of self-defense in the jury's eyes didn't hold weight. We can try to fight and fight and fight over that. But you know what? If you're going to fight as vigilantly, as diligently over that, how come we not fighting about what's happening in Chicago?
Well,
why we ain't fighting about that?
And the only reason, I say only, but the only reason why Stephen A. Smith is getting so much traction is he's willing to tell the truth. Even though he's going to somehow bend the knee to somewhat. I'm talking about the merits of the case, not the individual. Of course, no one is trying to destroy the individual. He too can be redeemed if he confesses his sins before the Lord Jesus and be saved. But when it comes to this case, he's guilty. Guilty. Why is that so hard for black people to say? Because I'll tell you why. The black community is using the race card as a get out of jail free card, pun intended. Get out of jail free card. It is not. Killed the young man. He needs to pay for it. and Stephen A. Smith wants to say that he is somehow against or has questions about the 35 years. I have questions about the 35 years he got also. I think he got off. It should have been life with no parole at the very least. But I think for justice to be served, I'm going to go Old Testament. It should have been an eye for an eye. That's my opinion.